We are live.
What's up?
Mike, we haven't done an episode in a kind of a minute,
I
right?
know it's been a minute. I was literally about to say I miss doing these.
So here's the deal, you guys. I almost got arrested.
Oh, we're gonna do this? Do you want to do this?
So I almost got arrested. So content today is definitely on the back burner, so I can
She pulled
avoid.
up on Facundo Campazzo and threw fists, and then he called the cops because Liv had him pinned and was just absolutely lighting his face up.
Yeah, like he was bloody and a mess. No, I did almost get arrested. So here's how this goes. I was in Arizona in Lake Powell. I got a distracted driving ticket because I was on my phone. I was looking at directions. Shout out whatever his face was that pulled me over because I actually was on my phone.
Let's call him Daryl.
Looking at Daryl. And so I got a distracted driving ticket, and I think it was like $330 I had to pay.
Wait, the only reason I say Daryl is because didn't you say he was hot? And I feel like Daryl's a hot name.
He was so sexy. He was the hottest cop I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
So hot. Anyway, and so I'm thinking, oh, he's gonna let me off with a warning. He's gonna let me off with a warning. It's fine. No, he says he even told me he found me attractive. So I'm thinking I'm really out of this. He did. He said, "You're young, you're beautiful, so I need to make an example out of this situation." Writes me a ticket. It's $328. Some example. That's rude. So my court date is June 9th in Arizona, which is tomorrow. And I was going to do the online course. So I was able to do like a distracted driving course, whatever, to get the ticket gone. Well, it turns out you have to do the course 7 days before your court date. I started it last night. Court date's tomorrow. So 7. I'm late.
Those are the things we love to see.
So basically, I could get pulled over and arrested at any moment in time. So I had to call the court this morning and beg for an extension. They gave me one. So today I have to complete the course to avoid incarceration.
And you did it.
Well, I haven't finished the course yet, but yes, today is the day. I will finish it and I will be done.
Also, anyway, I just want to say how I watched the episode of Turbo Mood today. If you guys don't know what Turbo Mood is, it's our new show with Liv Moods and Robert Turbin, and they had on Naheem Hines. And I chuckled to myself at how we just started the show with me saying how you beat the shit out of Facundo Campazzo when you guys started that show talking about how athletes are like people and we need to humanize them. And I was just like, yeah, Liv pulled up on Campazzo and just like beat the shit out of him, and he called the cop.
You bad girl, you.
Oh.
Naughty.
Oh my God.
That took a turn.
Why did you read that out loud?
Okay. Anyways, yeah. So I'm avoiding the whole arrest scandal, and it'll be fine.
No one in the chat wants to chat today. That's soft.
Yeah, you got soft energy.
It's rather soft.
Anyway, how has the playoffs been for you for betting so far?
Playoffs have been good. You know, I obviously, you have your days like every other game. You have your days where there's blowouts, whatever. I noticed that, a lot of people said in the beginning that the unders are going to be really hot because there's more defense in the playoffs. But I've actually kind of found my niche in the overs, and I think, I finally figured out the players I want to bet on in these series based on the matchups. And I think, I've started to do better. But that Celtics game last night killed me. I went 0 for 3 in that game, and then I went 2 for 1 in the Suns game. So if the game stays close, I can be pretty dangerous. But if there's going to be a blowout, there's nothing I can do,
True.
How about yourself?
I'm just gonna be honest, because this episode's all about honesty right now. I'm a little burnt out from betting at the moment. I really am. I've been feeling just very like it's just feeling very, it's just kind of getting in
get to our bets.
Betting has been burning me out lately, but here are my bets for tonight. I mean, it's like I just don't stop. Honestly, I think this is a crazy time of the year because you've got NHL playoffs, you've got NBA playoffs, you've also got MLB. It's just, this is a very hectic time of the year for sports betting. So I know that. I'm just trying to find my passion for it again. But yeah, it's a little.
There's nothing wrong with building the bankroll, taking a couple days off.
For sure. Exactly. I will say though, this Bucks Nets series starting, I just cannot see the Nets not taking this whole entire thing. I just can't. They are playing so electric. Kevin Durant can score with his freaking eyes closed. And the fact that they have been whooping so much tail without James Harden is just like that much more terrifying to me, because he is such a crucial piece to that puzzle. I don't know. I think the Nets are looking really, really nice right now.
Yeah, I mean, they just look so good right now, and
so good.
It makes me so angry because I just do not want that team to win the NBA Finals, but I really cannot find another team that would like really put them to the test. I honestly thought the Bucks were going to beat this team, but after last night, I mean, this Bucks team, Jason Tatum gave this Nets team a better competition than the Bucks with Giannis, Middleton, and Drew Holiday. So I don't know what the Bucks are doing wrong. They have a great roster.
The Nets are making the Bucks look like the Heat right now, and it's a little sad.
And that is tough to watch because, you know, Giannis is supposed to be Giannis, but I mean, Katie is just serving him buckets. So
serving on a platter.
Like, actually, he's just out there like a waiter, just serving buckets.
Anyway, that was a
lot. I have the worst cough right now.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
I did not mean to do that.
You got a little bit of COVID and you pulled the chain out?
I did not mean to do either of those things.
Okay, did you guys see Mikey over just pull his chain out?
It was itching. So I wanted to put it over my shirt.
The fans want to see the chain for the entire ep.
I'll put the chain out for the entire ep. I got no problem putting the chain out for the entire ep.
Wow.
The Celtic cross.
Chain is out for the epi. Let's get after it.
Chain is out for the epi, and we got Hawks Sixers. Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it. Now that the chain is out, it's time to get into it. Okay. Hawks versus Sixers. I mean, let me tell you something.
Tell me.
Trae Young, in my opinion, is progressively becoming one of the most deadly players in the playoffs right now.
I would argue the most deadly.
Yeah. And I think every game he's just getting a little bit more electric in some way, shape, or form. And what's hard for me is that I kind of feel the way about Trae Young that I did about Luka for the longest time, where I didn't want to like him, but his numbers were like, keep hating on me, Liv, but like, you know the drill. Like these, I have never been a huge fan of betting on the stars, because to me it's like 30 points. Like, no, like the other team's got to pick up no. Trae Young is carrying this team in a camelback right now. Yeah. That is not to say that these other players aren't really stepping up to the plate, but God, I mean, if there's a guy that you're depending on in a game for this Hawks team up against the 76ers, it's Trae Young. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I'm actually taking Trae Young over 27.5 points tonight. I'm never a huge fan of looking at these main guys and taking their overs just because I'm like, oh, what if they have an off night? I don't think he can afford to have an off night. And I don't think he wants to ever have an off night, because I think he is really, really determined to take this team as far as they can possibly go to show just how capable and powerful he is on this team. So I'm taking the over on his points. In the 6 games that he's played in the playoffs, one up against the 76ers team and the others up against the Knicks, he has hit this over in 4 of the 6 games that he's played. I know that there's rumors circulating that Ben Simmons is wanting to guard Trae Young tonight. To be honest with you, that doesn't scare me. I don't think it scares Trae Young either.
No. And I think, you know, when you talk about defensive matchups on Trae Young right now, there's the most dangerous players in the NBA are players that are playing with confidence. You're seeing it with KD right now. He's sweating confident. I mean, she's just. What did you just eat? What are you eating right now? Bagel? Oh my God. No, but listen, I think the defensive matchups right now, the most dangerous thing in the NBA is a player playing with confidence. All these guys can knock down 99 out of 100 shots, but it just depends if they're confident and it's their day. Trae Young has come into this playoffs and has only gotten more confident.
Mm-hmm.
I do not think that there is anyone you can put in front of Trae Young right now who he believes can stop him, which is a danger. So whether it's Ben Simmons or there's Drew Holiday, and let's be honest, he just played the last series against one of the most efficient defensive teams in the NBA, who just had the coach of the year in the New York Knicks, and he lit them up every single game. So I find it hard to believe that everyone really believes. And also, by the way, Trae Young is one of the best guys at getting to the free throw line. And you put a big guy like Ben Simmons on him, and he's so crafty. Every time he gets around the rim, he's going to try to draw a foul. So I think either you're going to see – well, I mean, that is a wild combo. I think either you're going to see Trae Young get Ben Simmons into foul trouble, or you're going to see Philadelphia start bringing the double. Because I really don't think one person can stop Trae Young right now with the way he's playing. He's just exuding that confidence. And that's why I'm also on the Hawks side. I think John Collins over 14.5 tonight, points, obviously, is going to be my play. I think John Collins, in the past 3 games he's played, he's hit this twice, and he scored in the 20s the 2 times that he hit it. I think John Collins knows he's got to step up in the playoffs. He had a couple of games in that Knicks series where he really lacked. But when you look at this Hawks team, it comes down to Trae Young, Bogdan, and John Collins. Clint Capella is going to do his work every single night. He's going to grab rebounds, and he's going to give you 6, 8, maybe 10 points. But the guys that are going to move the needle against teams like Philly are going to be the John Collins. They're going to be the Bogdans. And I think John Collins he's starting to shoot aggressively. He's starting to get to the cup. So I think over 14.5. I love that for him. He averages 17 against Philly, so I love this for him.
What is the status of Embiid? Okay.
Whoa.
What is the I'm sorry, my mother was beeping in. Kara.
Hi, Kara.
What is the status of Embiid tonight? Is he playing?
I believe he's playing. I haven't checked in the past 2 hours, but I think the last I heard, maybe the chat can help us out on this one. I believe he is activated for tonight's game. He played in game 1. Oh
my God. That was my dad.
Oh my God. Is everything okay? Is there an emergency?
Maybe.
You want to call him back?
No.
Okay. But yeah, I think even if Joel Embiid's not activated, I love both these props even more. Yeah, he's questionable. Thank you, Breezy. Your host. It's our host. Breezy.
What's good? I'm sure he'll play, right? I mean, can't imagine he's not. No, I'm talking to Nick. Nick's in the background.
Oh, he's probably speeded up.
Oh, well, whatever. Major F.
But there is another game on tonight.
There is another game. So, yeah, we're both on the Hawks side tonight. I did see some whispers on the Book of Sports app from some of our verified cappers that said there was some value in the Hawks team tonight. So, keep that in mind.
I totally agree with you.
Keep that in mind. But we do have another matchup, Clippers versus the Jazz. For this one, I'm looking at another superstar. Who am I? I don't know.
Bang. Oh, I thought you were going to say it.
But what?
I thought you were going to say his name, and I tried to anticipate it, so I was going to say bang right after you said his name, but...
Oh, okay. I'll say it now.
We'll fix that in post. Nick, 1535. Fix that in post.
You mean 13? Okay. My player...
We're at 1551 right now?
We are not. Okay. This is getting awkward. I like Kawhi Leonard.
Really awkward.
I like Kawhi Leonard tonight. I like him for points and rebounds over 35.5. I think he's gonna, this is kind of my way of thinking is obviously he's been absolutely insane lately, especially in the playoffs. He's been playing his best basketball, but if they really do buckle down and try to have tight defense on him, knowing that he is the primary scorer for this, I'm sorry, you guys. I keep thinking about getting arrested. This Jazz team is likely going to buckle down on Kawhi Leonard, but I want to point out an interesting fact. I know that the Jazz are super, super tight on defense when it comes to the perimeter. They allow the least amount of three-pointers in the league, but throughout this entire season, the Clippers have been the most efficient team from the three-point line.
Batum.
I want to keep that in mind that I think within this series, the 3-point line is going to determine who wins this series. What I mean by that is if the Jazz can't buckle down and defend the Clippers well from the 3, the Clippers have got it. And if the Clippers can't defend the Jazz well from the 3, because we've seen with this Jazz team, when they get hot from the 3-point line, there's nobody like them. So within this series, I don't know which team I'm leaning towards in this matchup, but I do like Kawhi Leonard over points and rebounds. I think it's 35.5. He could easily score that in points alone. But if the defense gets tight on him, then he will get what?
The Claw. He's got big hands. His nickname is the Claw.
I don't know people's nicknames.
It's Kawhi Leonard, the Claw. See? Claw. Well, I'm on the other side of this game. I'm taking another star player, and it's going to be Don Mitchell to score 30-plus points for juice. That means plus money odds. I honestly think that this Utah Jazz team is being very undervalued against this Clippers team. This Clippers team got taken to, 7 games against a Luka Doncic-only Mavericks, and this Jazz team, with Donovan Mitchell back, with Rudy Gobert, obviously Mike Conley missing tonight, I don't think that moves the needle that much for this Jazz team. Donovan Mitchell is one of the most underrated guards in the NBA, and I think he could drop 30 points on this Clippers team in his sleep. The fact that you can get this at plus money is shocking to me, and in our next segment, the surprise, I'm also going to say something else about this Utah Jazz team. But I think Don Mitchell scored 30-plus for plus money. I love that, especially with Mike Conley being out. That means he's going to get even more minutes, more burn, and he's going to have to put up more shots. So, bang. And here's a surprise. Normally, all we do is talk about props. But guess what? On today's episode, since there's only 2 games and we only like 4 props total, we're going to talk about which teams we think are going to win each game, either on the money line or the spread. Liv, do you want to start with the Hawks game, or do you want me to start?
You start.
I am absolutely hammering the Hawks plus 6. I think the Hawks are playing with confidence. They're a young core with a great coach, and they've figured out how to win. Whether that means absolutely blistering offense from Trae Young or ball movement and getting Bogdan going from the 3-point line, letting John find his game, and letting Clint take over that paint, I think Hawks plus 6 is still too many points for this Hawks team. And if you're feeling confident, you might just want to go ahead and sprinkle on the money line. Where are you on this game, Liv?
So I like the Hawks as well to cover. For whatever reason, I'm feeling like the under in this one. Which I know is psychotic because the last game that they played, the over was a total smack. But I think both teams are going to try to figure out how to really, really buckle down on defense to guard those Trae Youngs, those John Collins, those whatevers. I don't know if it's going to – I hope it doesn't happen considering we both have the over in their points, but I do think that defense there's going to need to be some sort of refresh on defense tonight. There's no way that these teams can play. The Hawks typically don't score as much as they did the last game. Within their series between the Knicks, they were averaging like in the 100 points. If I had to guess, I just did math in my head, but
quick math.
Yeah. So I'm kind of liking the under here, but I am for sure on Hawks plus 6.
Yeah. And then in the Jazz game, here's what I'm going to say, and I want everyone to hear me loud and clear. I'm going to take a note out of Liv's book. Hear ye, hear ye. I have a message for you. I'm going to tease the Utah Jazz spread all the way up to -6.5. It currently sits at -3. This Jazz team, I believe, is not only better than the Los Angeles Clippers, but I think they are head and shoulders like leagues above this Clippers team. This Clippers team still has no idea what they're doing. Kawhi Leonard is not a leader. The only reason the Raptors went that deep is because Kyle Lowry absolutely led that ship, and Kawhi Leonard was allowed to be that quiet guy that he wants to be and play defense and score the bucket because he had leaders on that team. There is no leader on this Clippers team. That's why he's airballing buzzer beaters and getting yelled at by Rondo. And this Utah Jazz team plays like a team. And I think Utah Jazz might just sweep this sorry Clippers team. And that's just a fact. I'm tired of the LA teams. I'm happy the Lakers finally got slapped, and I'm ready for the Clippers to get slapped too because they need a full rebuild. clip that. This has been no.
Wow, hot
Yeah,
take.
I'm fired up right now, Liv. I'm fired up because the fact that that Las Vegas is putting the Clippers at +3 against the Utah Jazz is baffling to me when they just went 7 games with the Dallas Mavericks, who literally only have Luka Doncic. They literally only have Luka Doncic, and they went 7 games. You have Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Rondo, Beverly, Batum. You have a full roster, Zubac, and you went 7 games with the Mavericks.
It's kind of like the Trailblazers a little bit.
Yes, I totally agree. And I think Dame's going to leave Portland as well. So,
where do you think he's going?
Portland just wasted his entire career by putting no one around him.
Where do you think he's going to go?
I would honestly love to see him go to LA. I think LA will back up the Brinks truck and trade whoever they need to trade. And I think LeBron and Damian Lillard would be the first time I'd ever want to root for LeBron. But imagine that series. You get Anthony Davis, LeBron, and Damian going up against KD, Kyrie, and Harden. That'd be the best final series, I think, of all time.
I think they should send Kuzma to Portland.
I think you could trade Kuzma for this New York Jets hat and as Shannon Sharp said, and a pack of Clorox wipes right now in the NBA. Just no trade value.
I have to say, before we recap props, we have 2 certified daddies in the league now. I don't know if you guys saw. But Tyler Hero is a daddy.
Dude, I thought you were about to say in the chat. That was going to be like, whoa.
We already knew that Tyler Hero was a daddy, but now he's a real life daddy. And Kelly Oubre, also a certified daddy. I mean,
he's a certified daddy.
Wow. To be those kids.
Kelly Oubre's kid might be one of the best looking kids to ever be born in the past 100 years. Wow. But let's recap. We had 2 games on tonight's slate, Hawks, Sixers. I, in this game, am on the Hawks side. I think John Collins over 14.5 points is going to be my lock for that game. Liv is also on the Hawks because she took
Trae Young over 27.5 points.
Bang it. And then in our second game, we have the Clippers facing the Utah Jazz in their game 1 of their series. I took Donovan Mitchell to score 30-plus points for the plus money, whereas Liv took
Kawhi Leonard over 35.5 points plus rebounds.
And as a little surprise, Liv and I are both also on the Hawks spread to cover at +6 tonight. And Liv believes that the under in that game is going to smack. While also in the Utah Jazz game, I'm teasing the Utah Jazz spread from -3 all the way up to -6.5 because I just think this Jazz team is going to slap this sorry Clippers team in the mouth. Maybe not game 1, but I do think they will win the entire series outright. And I think they will take game 1. But if they lose, I'm just going to cover myself and say that whatever the guy in the chat said about teams being rested don't normally play well in game 1. So that is my take. I'll also be dropping exclusives on the Book It Sports app. I think Liv will too if she's done with her class, but she's also got class today because she might go to jail if she doesn't finish it. So everyone be easy on her tonight. But you can find those exclusives on the Book It Sports app. What's the Book It Sports app? The Book It Sports app is your one-stop shop for all things sports fans and sports bettors alike. It's a social media scrolling feed application that is free on the App Store and Google Play Store where you can do a couple of things. Let me break down the most important. You can post that feed. You can post your memes. You can post your analysis. You can post your picks. And you can follow your friends. You can follow me. You can follow Liv. You can follow everyone on the Book It team. And you can also follow our cappers who, by the way, if you're going through a cold streak, maybe need a little help, they sell picks every single day on the platform across all major sports. And guess what? They're trying to help you cash. And also, all that action you're placing on the sportsbook, you can track it on our app, and your profile keeps a record so people know whether or not you're actually good at this or if you're capping.
If you're actually good or if you're just...
This one's for you, host. Oh, nice. Or if you're capping.